what we have here. Now, if you ladies behave yourselves and keep quiet, nothing will happen. All right?
Wayne, for God's sake, talk some sense into him. We haven't got a hope in hell of getting out of here. Wayne?
Now, wait a minute. Think about it. The cops will never dare touch us while we've got them to.
What's bothering you?
Nothing. Just bored.
You were more than keen before.
Well, I'm not now. I'm fed up. What's the point anyway?
The point is to be able to get you to read and write, Georgie. I mean, you don't want to go through life not being able to read magazines or newspapers or letters.
No one writes to me anyway. If I want to know what's going on, I just watch TV.
There's more to it than that. I'm trying to help you to get yourself a decent job once you leave here. Now, you can't do that if you're illiterate.
Well, don't use them big words with me.
Georgie, if you could learn to read and write, you wouldn't be so frightened of big words. That's what illiterate means, not being able to read and write.
Yeah, well, I've been that word for 19 years and I've managed to get by.
You call being in here getting by? Look, let's make a deal. Now, I did you a favour and got you to see your mother before she left. How about returning the favour and getting back to work?
Shut up! I don't want to learn to read and write anymore. Why can't we leave things the way they was?
They were, Georgie. They were.
I'll get stuff!
I've got to get something out of the car.
What?
Never you mind. Look, just keep me covered.
Wayne, don't do it. Put the gun down. Throw it outside. Let's give ourselves up. Please. Wayne!
Listen, you coppers! Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Well, you listen good, you hear? We got a couple of old grannies in here as hostages. And if even one of us gets scratched, one of them gets it. You understand?
Are they all right?
They are so far. But if you don't quit shooting, I can't promise anything.
Where did you get that stuff from?
Out of the car. Boys believe in being prepared just as well, because the only way we're going to get ourselves out of this is with these. Here.
How's it going, mate? Yeah, you're in position, right? You see what's... Right, look, hang on a minute. The senior's just arrived. Yeah, right.
Marsh?
Yeah.
Inspector Thorne.
Hi.
What's the state of play?
Couple of hostages, could have more.
We'll hold our fire until we confirm the hostage situation. What's your manpower?
6, all armed.
All right, let's get on with it.
Of getting out of here.
Oh, shut up and get over here.
If we gave ourselves up now...
What's the plan?
You'll cover the back of the shop, I'll stay here, and she can cover the old dears.
For how long?
For as long as it takes. We'll let the pigs make the first move.
Do what he says, mate.
Yeah, that's right, dear. Enjoy it.
He's trigger happy.
Just sit tight. Everything will be fine.
It's you in charge of us, love, and not that wild boy.
Pay attention to this. You're surrounded. Your only chance is to surrender.
That's all you know, you bastard!
He's right.
It's the only way you'll get out of there.
Go to hell. We'll blast our way out if we have to.
We've got to do what he says.
I'm not giving in to those pigs. Anyway, we're holding all the aces.
It's a lovely day outside, Vera.
Miss Bennett.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Thank you.
Well, aren't you going to say welcome home?
I'm glad you're back.
I bet you are. How's things?
I was going to ask you the same thing.
What are you getting at?
Maybe the women have found a new leader.
That was all settled before I went away on my little holiday.
Still think you're top dog, do you?
I know it.
The officers run this prison, Smith.
You know, Vera, I think it's time is right. Change your mind about that.
Shut up and get moving.
Where are we headed?
H block.
Oh, home sweet home.
Oh, Bea!
Settle in, Smith. 10 minutes till muster.
Yeah, it's
How you feeling, Bennett?
Oh, fighting fit. Takes more of a battle than a noodle with a plate to stop me. How are the classes?
They're not.
How's that?
Well, I ain't go no more.
Why?
Well, Andrews gives me a pain.
What happened?
Don't know. Me mum. Well, what's the point of ending up like her?
Well, you will if you think like that.
Well, what am I supposed to think? Andrews in his bloody classes. I told him where to shove him.
Going got a bit rough, huh?
What do you mean by that?
Listen, you're not going to learn to read and write in one day. It takes time.
Well, I ain't got time.
Well, listen to me, kids. You take time. Because you know what happens in here. Girls come in on a first offence and they say they're going to go straight when they get out. They're no better off when they get out than when they came in. Because they've got no qualifications, no nothing, and they come back in here again and again and again.
Well, I won't.
What are you going to do when you get out? Yeah, and you know why, don't you?
Well, I can do some.
Oh, thinking of being an accountant, eh?
Oh, shut up.
Well, have it your own way, but I think you're pretty stupid.
Don't talk to me like
Listen, I'm just saying because it's true, kid. Now, you have been handed things on a plate. Andrews has been trying to help you, and we're all trying to make sure you don't come back in here again. So give their classes a passion. Show the world you're not stupid.
Okay.
How's it looking?
Spotted one by the back door, Inspector. He's armed.
All right, keep your eyes open and hold your fire. That telephone connected yet?
Not yet. What's the next move?
We wait.
Great. What's that supposed to do?
Give them time to think, let them stew, and then we start talking.
Talk? Looks, mate, what we need is action.
Now just hold your horses, Marsh. We'll try and talk them out first. At least we'll give them that chance.
I wouldn't give those bastards the time of day.
I'm in charge here.
Yeah. Well, I was just telling you what I'd do. When we sight those bastards, I'd shoot first and ask questions later.
Oh, dear, dear, it's nearly 4:30.
Shut up.
I'm sorry, but I'm usually thinking about going home by now.
Yakety-yak!
I can't stand much more of this. I'm not a well woman. The straight of my heart.
Shut up! You're getting on my nerves, too.
You'll be all right, Mrs. Dyson. Just keep your pecker up and relax. Now, look at it this way. We'll be famous. Two ordinary widows like ourselves. We'll be in the papers. Or do you think we might turn on the telly? We might see ourselves.
Stop moving around, I'm warning you.
Oh, just as you like, dear, but I'm sure the TV crews will be along any moment. I'd love to see my shop on the box.
Oh, if I have to say, Holly.
You've got a weird way of looking at things, that's for sure.
Well, my philosophy is think positive. If my shop's on the box, then it'll be like a free advertisement. Holly's haberdashery.
Oh, shut up, you old bag.
Really? I don't suppose you'd like a cuppa, dear?
Okay, but don't try anything silly.
What the hell's she doing now?
Settle down, she's just making a cuppa. I could use one.
All right, but keep an eye on her. And any funny business,
Here,
dear.
dear.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I suppose.
Help us all relax. Help us pass the time.
John Kempsey, news on the spot. Can you give us some idea about what's happening over here at all?
No comment.
According to earlier reports, 3 bandits, 2 men and 1 woman, are holed up in that shop. Would you confirm this?
No comment.
Well, what's the hostage situation then? Inspector...
Well, you get the hell out of here. The last thing we wanted. Bloody reporters calling all over the place.
Isn't it? Would you like to give some idea?
Now, listen, those bandits are armed. Now, you're in the firing line.
Anticipating a shootout?
Maybe.
Are you?
Maybe. Now, get the hell out of here.
As you can see, the atmosphere is pretty tense here at the moment. And with good reason. This afternoon, 2 men and a woman tried a payroll snatch in a suburban bank, then fled into this shop. The bandits are believed to be armed and have taken the shop owner hostage. John Kempsey.
Oh, never a dull moment, eh?
Hey, you're back. Let's have a good look at you, love.
Oh. You really better?
Any better and I'd be dangerous. What's all that about?
I don't know. It's the first we ever heard of it.
2 blokes and a woman. You think a girl had more sense?
Yeah, those payroll blokes always carry guns. She must have been mad.
I reckon we'll find out. She probably headed for Wentworth. The cops have got everything on their side.
Yeah, bastards. She must have been real hard up to snatch a payroll.
Yeah, they never say nothing about the circumstances.
Oh, well, that was a big word. I wonder what it means.
All she's saying is the girl had a good reason for getting involved. Probably to try and make some extra money on the side.
Just like you did, love.
What?
Well, she used to be a real good forger in her day, weren't you, Dor?
Oh, yeah. Signatures mainly, but I was real good at
Till
it.
she got caught.
I only got caught on
Which is
account
ancient history.
I've done it for 5 years.
Sounds like a good lad.
Oh, it is, but of course it's not for the likes of everyone. You have to be able to read and write.
Cartoons, indeed. Is that all they're going to say about us? I mean, they didn't even mention my shop or me. It's just not fair, dear, after all the trouble you've gone to. I wonder who that can be.
OK, answer it. But be careful what you say, right?
Holly's haberdashery? Oh, it's the police. They want to speak to one of the bandits.
It's a trap. The minute we start talking, the pigs will want to move in.
Shall I tell them there's no comment?
Yeah. No. Look, cover the back door. Wayne, you talk to them, tell them what we want.
Yeah. No names. We want a getaway car, right? We're taking the hostages with us. You follow us, they get it.
Please. Please.
Shut up!
I haven't done anything. Oh, my God, my God.
Why don't you get her to talk to them? Might soften them up a bit.
Good idea. Get on with it.
Hello? I can't go on. Please give them what they want. Yes, they'll kill us. They've all got guns. I don't know what's on.
Oh, there, you'll be all right. Come.
Why'd you hang up?
They know what we want.
What if they don't give?
Hey, Will, thanks to the old dear, they know we mean business. And if the pigs won't play...
Look, I've got an idea. Maybe, just maybe, it's a way of getting through to the cops.
Inspector Thorne just phoned. 2 men and a woman are holding hostages in a shop.
Yes, I heard the news flash on the radio. Well, what's it got to do with me?
The woman is Margo Gaffney.
Oh, no. I knew she was short of money, but I thought she was going straight.
Yes, well, Gaffney has phoned the police and asked for you to act as an intermediary between the police and them.
What, you mean going to the shop and carry out messages?
Yes. I'm sure you know as well as I do that these sort of things usually end up violently. If you do become involved, you could be placing yourself in grave danger.
If Margot's asked for me, I can't very well ignore her.
I wasn't suggesting that. Perhaps the police will let you phone her. She obviously trusts you. You may be able to persuade her to surrender in that way.
Well, there are 2 others involved. They're probably the ones holding out and not Margo.
Well, nevertheless...
Well, phoning's no good. In person, I might be able to help.
Meg, I won't allow you to risk your life, and that is an order.
I must go. Margo deserves a chance.
Just be careful, Mrs. Morris. You never know what those mongrels will come out.
Yes, now look, we'll give you all the protection we can, but you must be aware you're putting yourself at risk.
Yes, I know that. Now, what exactly is the procedure?
Well, we're in a standoff position at the moment, but it's early days and they're pretty disorganized.
Which makes them more dangerous. I mean, they might lose their heads and start shooting.
No, it's a possibility. But there must be a good reason why the woman asked for you. Now, if anyone's going to talk them out, it'll be you.
I hope so.
Actually, look, you might be able to help us. Find out what sort of ammo they've got, the layout of the shop, so on and so forth.
Now, if everything goes according to plan, you'll go in, you'll talk to them, Then you'll be allowed come out, bring out any messages and so on.
Mrs. Morris, isn't it? We'd like your opinion.
Look, I told you to get the hell out of here!
All right.
Assault, mate.
Now, look, I'll be making a statement later on. Now, why don't you just get out of here and let's get on with it? Right, mate? You ready to go in?
Yes.
Miss Bennett, could I have a word with you?
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
I've just been informed we've been assigned a new officer.
Good, not before time, I might add.
A trainee officer. I'd like you to supervise her.
Oh, really, Mrs. Davidson, those trainees are more work than help. 2 weeks' training, and they think they know everything.
Which is precisely why they need looking after. Her name is Celia Dean. She'll be here tomorrow.
Is there anything else?
No, not really. I suppose you've heard about the siege.
Yes, I heard on the afternoon news. There's a woman involved, isn't there?
Yes, Margo Gaffney.
Well, I can't say that I'm surprised. That sort can never stay out of trouble. Why the police just don't shoot them and have done with it, I'll never know.
It's very easy to take that attitude when you're not personally involved. Mrs. Morris has volunteered to be an intermediary between the gunman and the police.
But why?
Gaffney requested it.
And Meg was fool enough to go.
I ordered her not to, but she was determined.
Mrs. Davidson, you should have stopped her. You know how things like that can end up. If there's a shootout, Meg's in the firing line.
Yes.
Okay, get over there.
Thanks for coming. You know, Wayne, and this...
You tell her my name and I'll blow the little lady's head off.
Look, I don't want to know who you are. But you be reasonable. If you get out of here, what sort of future will you have? You'll be on the run forever.
That's our worry, lady.
Is that what you want?
She wants what we want, don't you, mate?
Please, you've got to help us. All I want to do is get out of here. Talk to them.
Can't we let her go? We've still got Holly.
Any more talk like that and I'll be taking a screw hostage.
Don't be bloody stupid, mate. We need her. You don't believe them pigs on the phone, do you?
Okay, but you lot just shut up and be quiet. Then we'll tell you what we're going to do. Wayne?
How is everything under the circumstances?
There's nothing like 3 gun-toting bandits to liven up your life.
How can you? This isn't a joke.
I was saying to Margo, you've just got to make the best of things. Still, you're a brave young woman coming here all by yourself of your own accord.
Margo wanted me to come. I thought it might help.
You heard what Bazza said. Keep quiet.
Still give yourself up.
He would blow my head off if I tried.
Which means I've risked my life for nothing.
Give us time, mate.
You know, it's just struck me who you remind me of.
Who?
Angie Dickinson. You know that policewoman on telly? You're just like her. Brave. A real-life heroine. Oh, bloody cartoons.
Some people like enjoying this sort of rubbish.
John Kempsey at the scene.
Mrs. M.
What's she doing there?
Mrs. Morris, from Wentworth Detention Centre, has agreed to liaise between the bandits and the police. It is believed that the female member of the trio is a former inmate of Wentworth. We'll bring you more as it happens. Now back to the
What's
studio.
going on, Mrs. Morris? Who's she doing there? And who's the
I'll
woman?
say it again. Your type couldn't stay out of trouble if you tried.
Who's the woman, Miss Bennett?
Yes, come on, give Vera. Margo Gaffney.
No. We're going to do it my way. First up, tell the pigs we're not budging.
We can't stay here forever.
Shut up. Tell them either they give us what we want or the old dears get it. I'll kill if I have to.
I'll pass it on.
And we want some food.
Oh, that's a good idea. My tummy's rumbling. What about you, Mrs. D?
Do you reckon there's a pub around here? I could go a cold beer.
I'll bring in as much food as I can, OK?
Fair enough. Now get moving and remember, try anything smart and she gets it. Well, what the hell's the matter with her?
She's fainted. What did you expect?
Oh, she's never been robust. It's a heart, you know.
If she packs it in, we'll be to blame, you know.
Margo's right. If Mrs. Dyson has a heart attack, you'll be blamed. Now, for your own sake, let her go.
If she carks it, but she stays.
You've already got one hostage.
The screw's got a point. The more hostages we got, the more muscle we've got, mate. I'll just shut up, will you?
Look, if you let Mrs. Dyson go, I'll stand hostage in her place.
She's in a bad way. Well, what difference does it make if it's her or the screw?
All right. Tell the pigs.
Hey, copper! The screw's coming out with the old duck!
Standing by.
Now get moving and remember, tell the coppers what we want. And get the food and get back here, or she gets it.
Well, I hope she won't be too long. My tummy's rumbling already.
Warning 407. 408. To contain the area till I flush right through it.
Officer Dickinson, radio base for an ambulance and tell them one of the hostages is free.
402. 402, are you aware of the search going on for the offenders?
I've told you before, Dempsey. Now get out of the way!
How come they let her go?
Well, even they could see she wasn't well. And I've volunteered to be stand-in hostage.
You certainly got plenty of guts.
Look, there isn't much time. They want some food, and then I've got to go back and stay with them.
OK, we'll OK the food. Now, look, what's the situation in there?
Well, they're all armed. Margo and her boyfriend have got pistols, and the other one they call Bazza is a large caliber rifle.
Is there much ammo?
Well, there seems to be quite a bit of it. 2 boxes at least.
What's the general feeling in there?
Well, they're all pretty tense.
You still reckon you can talk them out?
2 of them. Margo and her boyfriend. I think they'd surrender without much persuasion.
Good, then we'll hang on for a while to give you a chance to get through to them.
What about the other one?
Bazza? Yes, well, he's trigger happy. One false move and...
Nah, Dad is a bloody doornail.
Which means we won't have any news of Margo until tomorrow.
Maybe it'll be over by then, one way or another.
Most likely ways a bloodbath.
I hope Mrs. M's all right. She's always been my favourite screw.
Yeah, but she's still a screw. You would be worried about Margo.
We are. Stupid bitch out of here in 5 minutes and she's already into jobs.
Yeah, and she said she was going straight. She promised.
See? That's what it's like once you've been in here. The chances are you'll keep on making the same mistakes.
Yeah. Look at us. Look at Dor. Once you've been in here, your life's ruined.
Yeah, well, it's not going to happen to me.
OK, but you'll have to work at it.
Told you, I'm going to get stuck into them classes, then I'll get a good job.
That's the spirit, love.
Yeah, no way am I coming back to this dump.
That's what Margo said.
Yeah, well, for me, it's going to be true.
The screw's coming.
Could be a trap. Should be gone longer than I thought you would be.
Don't, Bazza!
What's in the box?
I imagine it's food.
It could be drugged.
Yeah, good thinking. You eat it. OK, bog in.
How much longer you reckon it'll be?
Not long. Cops will give us what we want.
Do you really reckon they'll give us the car?
Of course. We're home and housed.
On the run, you mean?
Yeah. Sorry, mate.
So much for going straight. Mrs. Morris would have helped us.
We had to get the brass from somewhere, mate. Anyway, what's happened's happened.
Oh, no. It's just that, well, you get some funny ideas in your head. I thought we'd get married, have kids.
We could still do that. After this is over, we'll split north and
And wait till things cool down.
We could never bring him up proper. Cops would catch up with us sooner or later. We'll never get another chance.
I've really buggered things up, haven't I? I don't know how. I don't know how, but I'll make it up to you.
You keen?
Heard any more news about Mrs. Morris and Margo?
Yes.
Hey, what's the latest on the siege?
Those animals have taken Mrs. Morris hostage. I hope you're satisfied.
How could she do it? Mrs. M was helping Margo and everything.
Yeah, well, maybe it wasn't Margo's fault.
She asked Mrs. Morris to go.
I bet you $1 to a brick it was the blokes that were calling the tune.
Yeah, bloody men. Margo wouldn't do anything like that.
I reckon she could.
How would you know?
Oh, she'd do it on her head. She's a regular crim like you, isn't she?
Oh, you! Oh, all right, now you two cut it out.
She called me a crim.
Yeah, well, we're all crims, so will you bloody put a sock in
Yeah,
it?
cut it out, both of you, otherwise I really give you something to worry about. Now, for crying out loud, get in there and wake Lizzie up, otherwise she'll stay there all day.
So incredible. Oh, like I said, dear, my philosophy is just...
Oh, shut up, you stupid bitch.
Anything happening out there?
Not yet, not yet. It won't be long.
You reckon we'll get what we want?
I don't know. I just don't know.
Look, you haven't even worked out a plan. You know the police have got one.
Whatever the coppers have got, darling, I'll go one better. They'll be making a move pretty soon, and when they do, I'll be ready.
Hi, I'm Sally Dean, the new prison officer. Oh, training officer.
Thanks, Mr. Fletcher. Going to give it another go. I'm pleased.
Me too. Where do I start? Well, you'll be doing the Bubs book again. This is John. This is Betty. John can run. Betty can...
Doreen, why don't you get on with your own work? And we'll take it from the top. Don't rush it. Just remember what we talked about last time.
Scotty is a dog. Scotty can...
That's enough, Doreen.
I was only trying to help. We did that book in Bubs.
Well, for your information, Georgie's progress way beyond that.
19 and she can't even read proper.
And apart from your actual duties, I would like you to keep in mind that the emphasis at Wentworth is on rehabilitation, not punishment.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson.
Now, I see from your file that your induction course was at Pentridge. There will be a number of differences.
Oh, yes. Well, after all, it's much smaller, isn't it? And I'll be dealing with women, not men.
Don't underestimate the women, Sally. They can be just as difficult. But remember, they are human beings, not... Come in.
Yes, Mrs. Davidson?
This is Sally Dean, Sally Vera Bennett.
Hi.
How do you do?
Now, as a trainee, you would be aware that you must be accompanied by a fully qualified officer at all times. Miss Bennett will supervise you.
Right.
Then I suggest you go along with Miss Bennett and have a look at the prison, and she will explain the routine as you go. And remember, without undermining discipline, the women do respond to respect and kindness if you give them a chance.
Of course, Mrs. Davidson, I understand.
I hope you will have a pleasant, or rather a fruitful stay at Wentworth.
How much longer do we wait?
Give them time.
It's been 24 hours already.
Okay, it's a stalemate. What's your suggestion?
I'd just like to see one of them. Just get one of them to show their face.
And then what? Blow their heads off?
It's better than sitting here.
We've got to take the hostages into consideration. All right, it's worth a try. Get them to show themselves. Then we know how they intend to use the women. But we hold our fire.
And if they don't?
Well, then we got no alternative. But only if they separate themselves from the hostages.
Give me your location, please, so I can direct 402 to you.
What are they up to? Wayne, they're up to something, mate.
Calm down, will you?
Oh, go to hell.
Come out.
We'll come out when you hand over the car.
No deal.
Give us what we want or the ladies get it.
You show yourself, then we'll talk.
Show yourself, mate.
Come out with your hands above your head.
Jeez, you think they'd come up with a better line than that, wouldn't you?
Listen, mate, it's your only chance. Otherwise, we shoot on sight.
You try it, you bastard! Go on, try it!
Don't!
Shut up!
Listen, you heard what he said. If we don't go out, it'll be a bloodbath.
So what?
We'll all be killed.
Not before we take one of those bastards with us.
Does that mean you don't agree with what Mrs. Davidson said?
It's all very well to talk about rehabilitation, but you've got to have the raw material to work with. None of these women are interested in improving themselves.
Well, yes, we were taught that a lot of prisoners return to jail time and time again.
What do you think you're doing? Stand to attention when an officer speaks to you. Rule 2A, paragraph 3. All prisoners must be accompanied by an officer at all times. And the punishment is? Loss of privileges for 48 hours. Now put that cigarette out. Pick it up. As well as loss of privileges, you'll be on garbage duty for the rest of the week. Now get back to work.
Wasn't that a bit harsh?
Harshness is the only thing these animals understand.
It is summer. John and Betty are going to the beach with their mother and father.
Fine, good work.
I'm finished. What's next?
Just a minute. Go through the next chapter by yourself. Now try and make sense of the words, but if you have any problems, then look at the pictures.
Sure, I'll be finished in no time.
Right, anybody else having any trouble? No? Good. Well, the exercise was how to deal with a difficult customer in a shop.
Well, I wrote this thing sort of like a play, you know, with real people in it and what they say.
Oh, that's an imaginative approach.
Yeah, well, there was this old lady called Mrs. Park, and she was in this shop, and she was having a go at the girl who owns the shop, and I called her Mrs. Burns. Well, anyway, this old bag, she has a go at Mrs. Burns, and she says to her that she's overcharged her, but she hasn't. And she has a go at her in front of all the other customers and calls her a thief and that. And Mrs. Burns had to be real tactful, you know, like they say, and at the same time she had to prove that she wasn't a thief.
That's great. No, you've not only defined the main problems, you've made it interesting. It's very good.
Oh, do you want me to read it out to the class?
I'm not so sure, Doreen.
What do you mean?
Well, if you get any better at this course, you'll be doing me out of a job.
Bastards. They're bastards.
We've got to stall him. Any minute now.
I know.
Why don't you phone a TV station and tell them what you want?
That's not a bad idea.
And there was this other siege, and the bandits claimed they were being victimised by the police, and all the viewers phoned the channel and said they should be given what they wanted to avoid bloodshed.
It's worth a go.
Okay. Phone.
Oh, try Channel 8. The number's 119-4863. I know the number off by heart. Isn't that awful? I'm calling that afternoon show all the time. He's a lovely young man. Oh, mention the name of my shop, won't you?
Newsroom? They put me through. Now get this. We done the payroll job, right? We want 100 grand in unmarked bills, a getaway car and some dye remover. Otherwise the screw in the old duck gets it.
He didn't mean that. He's only bluffing.
I heard that. Well, maybe the Wayne is bluffing, but I'm not. Got it?
Oh, okay, girls. Whew, smoko. How's your head? Like I told Georgie, take more than a bump on the head to stop me.
Yeah, look, I'm really sorry about all that. Just got out of hand, that's all.
Hey, look, I thought we decided to let bygones be bygones.
Okay, as long as you're all right. Still on medication?
Yeah, but since when did anyone ever die of concussion?
Well, I thought you might have tried to escape when you were in that hospital.
Well, the guard never do, hardly.
Get back to work.
Smoke, Vera. What have we here?
Yes, who is your new chum?
Don't be insolent, Bryant.
Sorry.
This is Miss Dean, a trainee officer.
Well, how do you do, Miss Dean? I'm B. Smith, Queen Bee. But then I suppose Vera's already told you that.
That's enough, Smith. Another word out of you.
I know, and you'll slap me in the pound so fast. Have a heart, Vera. I've just come out of hospital. I'm not a well woman.
Then get back to work.
Like I said at Smoko. Have to learn the rules around here, like who calls the shots, for instance.
That's right. They don't call her Queen Bee for nothing.
I won't warn you again, Bryant.
All right, girls, back to work. You know, I knew the department was desperate, but I didn't know they were that desperate.
She wouldn't have a clue. She's like a scared rabbit.
She's officer material. I'm the governor.
Right, thanks. I'll let you know. Out.
What's going on?
They're getting expensive. They're 100 grand, unmarked notes, dye remover, and a getaway car.
Sounds like they're cracking to me. What are we going to do?
Well, like I said, we wait. Our main concern is the hostages.
You want me to talk to them?
Yeah. But don't push them too hard.
Are you listening, Brazza?
No! No, you know what we want. You give!
You release the hostages, then we'll talk.
For crying out loud, will you do what he says?
No way!
Release the hostages!
Go to hell!
Well, what do you think of the place?
Oh, it's very different from Pentridge. That's where I did my course. Oh, I'm not being critical, though.
Have you met any of the women yet?
Yes, some of them.
Sorry to disturb your lunch. I just wanted to remind you of the classification meeting this afternoon. I hope you'll sit in on it, Sally. It will give you some idea how Wentworth operates.
Oh, of course, Mrs. Davidson.
The next shift starts in half an hour. You'll find me in reception.
Why did you enroll in the course? Is there something that you've wanted to do for a long time?
Oh, not exactly. I guess I just fell into it.
What's that supposed to mean?
Oh, well, I had a series of dead-end jobs, and I was unemployed for a couple of months, and then I just read an advertisement for prison officers, and here I am.
Yes, well, I suppose if you don't like it, you can always leave.
Did I say something wrong?
Jim's a career officer. He thinks you should have a vocation for the job rather than taking it on as a last resort. Besides, they're all quite worried about Meg Morris. Apparently, it's quite serious.
Oh, yes, I know, but... Oh, that's not what I meant. I mean, given half a chance, I could make a really good officer and make a very real contribution, you know?
I'm sure you will.
It's just that Mrs. Davidson says one thing, and then Miss Bennett says...
Said that the prisoners were animals and should be treated as such.
Well, yes.
Well, that's just one point of view. I see them as... Well, they're just like us, except they're caught on the wrong side of the law.
It's a big difference.
Not really. They've got exactly the same needs as us, to be cared about, to be respected. And I believe it's our job to make sure that happens. So stay with it.
Nothing.
I reckon they'll be giving regular reports on the siege.
Maybe there's nothing new.
Yeah, well, no news is good news.
Yeah, well, maybe, but if they're going to throw the towel out, I reckon they would have done it by now.
I wonder how much longer they can hold out.
When's the next news?
Can't you read or anything?
Oh, well, then cut it out, can't you see? She's only trying to get you going. Oh, come on, girls, back to the sweatshop.
When are you two going to bury the hatchet?
She's a dumb bum. Why should I? The end result was a riot in the dining room. Smith and Bryant appeared to be the main protagonists.
They seemed pretty friendly when I saw them before.
That doesn't mean the feud's over.
Maybe not, but I must admit things are a lot quieter now.
Still, it's important to keep an eye on them, just in case they haven't settled their differences.
Well, it's Georgie and Doreen who are the problem. They seem to have a private war going on.
What do you think is the cause?
Well, my guess is that Doreen's found someone that she can feel superior to. Unfortunately, she can't resist rubbing Georgie's face in it.
In that case, I'd ask you all to keep a close watch on them when they're together.
We've got more than enough to do without playing nursemaid to those two 24 hours a day.
It won't be for long, I assure you. Baxter should be paroled in 2 weeks' time.
And that's ridiculous. She's violent and intractable. She shouldn't even be considered.
Well, I agree Georgie got off to a bad start, but she's made incredible progress in her desire to improve herself.
She can barely read, let alone write.
Well, it's a long, hard slog at that age, but she'll do it if there's someone there to help her stay with it.
You'll be able to, I'm sure of it. She sounds like the type of person who deserves a chance.
I'll need a report from you for the parole board.
I've already made out my report. Unless Georgie establishes those skills pretty firmly before she leaves here, she'll just go backwards. I need more time with her. And for that reason, I've recommended against parole.
Time's up, mate. They've got to give.
So what if they don't?
Then the screw gets it. Look, I warned them, didn't I? I told them.
So you shoot the screw, so then what happens?
Don't be bloody stupid. We shoot our way out.
Are you out of your mind? There's a couple of truckloads of pigs out there who wouldn't last a second.
We still got the old duck. We can use her as cover.
Can't you see? The minute you start shooting, that'll be it.
Look, lady, you might have just used your last word, so shut up. Just shut up.
Tell him, Wayne. You gotta. I want to get out of this alive. Tell him we'll surrender. It's our only hope.
Yeah. Come on, lover boy. Tell me.
Well, fancy finding you when you're lonesome.
Smith, isn't it?
That's right. Thought you would have broken out of Wentworth by now.
Don't be insolent.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I just wondered how they were treating you.
Inmates are to be escorted by an officer at all times. You know that, Smith.
You can hold my hand if you like.
How dare you?
Now, listen, love. It is after work. All the other girls are in the rec room. I am going to my cell. Now, I am allowed to go from there to here, unescorted. Pays to know the rules, doesn't it?
Well, just get along to your cell, then.
And if I don't?
I can have you charged with disobedience.
Oh, what will I get for that?
I can have you sent to solitary confinement for 2 days.
But I'm not a well woman, Miss Dean. I have just come out of hospital. I don't think Mrs. Davidson would approve of you putting me in the pound. So, what's it to be?
Just get about your business, please.
John has a fishing rod. Father has a rod too. John has...
The book good?
What's it, you?
Sounds fascinating. I just thought you'd be further progressed than that.
Mr. Andrews reckons I'll be reading the newspaper next week.
Well, that is good news. Next thing we hear, you'll be lecturing at university.
Nah, doesn't pay enough.
Don't kid yourself, Baxter. Even if you do learn to read and write, which I doubt, you'll never get a job.
I will, so a good one.
Like what?
Anything I like. I have to spend the rest of my life making myself feel better than other people like you.
I'm warning you, Baxter.
You warn me all you like. I'll be out in 2 weeks. I'm getting my parole.
Oh, yes, we were discussing that before.
What?
Your parole.
Yeah, I'll be out in 2 weeks.
Don't bank on it.
Mr. Andrews will tell them.
Oh, yes, he's telling them all right. He's already made out his report. He's decided that you're a poor student, that you haven't been making the most of your opportunities, and he's recommended against your parole.
Yes, sir. I hadn't thought that far ahead, sir. I'll let you know.
What's happening?
Bugger all. They've said no to the money, the car, everything.
Well, you didn't expect anything else, did you?
Well, we got to have something to bargain
You
with.
can't bargain with those mongrels!
And you can't put the hostages' lives in any more danger than they're in already. Look, what's the matter with you, Marsh? If I didn't know better, I'd swear you were trigger happy.
Yeah, all right. What do you want to do?
I'm going to speak to the brass again. This time face to face. And don't start anything new while I'm gone. If you want me, I'm with the boss.
Stand by. Right, you lot. You've lost your power and your food. So get out. You bastard, you dirty rotten bastard! You got him, Got him!
Hold your fire!
wish he could again. But that was on the outside, and things were different then. On the inside, the sun still shines, and the rain falls down. But the sun and rain are prisoners too when morning comes around. Last night I dreamed we were together, sharing all the love we'd known, till I had to face the nightmare, waking up alone. On the inside the roses grow, they don't mind the stony ground, but the roses here are prisoners too when morning comes around.